Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. Welcome to the space for conscious, purpose-driven entrepreneurs, where we assist in removing the blocks that keep you from your purpose so that you can manifest abundance through it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I wanted to talk about hypervigilance and why we may feel this need to constantly be doing. That if you have experienced any form of that conditioning or programming of hustle culture, and or you experienced complex trauma as a child where you did not feel safe, seen, heard, cared for, or loved for an extended period of time, you likely, and most of us have experienced one or the other or both, you likely have sort of that sense of anxiety when it's time to be still. So at the time of filming this, it's early January 2023. We have been in a sort of a slowdown period through most of December and even now into mid-January. And it has made some people uncomfortable, especially those who struggle with that feeling of, if I'm not always busy, if I'm not consciously doing things, then I'm doing something wrong. And that really is at the heart of this issue, is that belief that we have to constantly be doing or achieving. We have to see external stimuli or response or feedback to our actions to be validated. And here's the tricky thing is if you experienced verbal abuse, emotional neglect, or even physical abuse, not to mention just the traditional programming that our society sends us, that we have to constantly be hustling, any one of those factors will make it very uncomfortable for us to sit in calm energy, right? When this slowdown of momentum happens, we're being called to go within, to rejuvenate, and to sort of recharge our batteries so that when the energy does pick up again, when the momentum returns, we're ready to go. And these moments can be some of the most difficult because they are triggering. That stillness can be triggering, loneliness can be triggering, and especially a lack of or a seeming lack of progress can be triggering. And so I highly encourage you to sort of sit with the discomfort. And I know that that's not always fun, but it is in the discomfort where we can ask the why questions. I like to suggest that you ask why 5 times. Why am I feeling uncomfortable right now? Because I believe that I have to be productive all the time. Well, why do I feel I have to be productive all the time? Well, because when I was young, I was told that I was lazy if I wasn't constantly doing something, right? And you just keep going down in those layers. At the end of the day, my stillness means I'm not moving towards fixing who I am or proving my value and worth. Another way that this can show up is in the belief or the constant need to punish ourselves, that we feel like a, the rest is a reward and we haven't earned the reward. Or we may have received the program that when we were young, that if we were not suffering, if we were not in pain, we didn't get attention. That maybe that emotional neglect was so extreme that we learned to get attention, we have to skin our knee or we have to suffer in some way. Or in my case, that suffering was the constant, that I perpetually was deprived of whatever I needed. The message was that my needs were invalid or a problem even. And so it was a theme of constant stuffing down what you need. And so then as adults or in our big person suit, little people in big bodies, we struggle with the program that somehow meeting my need is a problem, or that If I'm no longer in discomfort or I'm no longer suffering, then there is a problem. So I would really offer this to you to remind you that your needs are valid. You deserve to have your needs met. And in fact, collectively, we all need you to have your needs met. That to be a martyr or to suffer is not virtuous. In fact, you are held back and limited when your needs are not met, and therefore you are not at your highest capacity, able to fully self-actualize, able to step into your purpose, able to offer the gifts that you have, that the collective needs. You were made perfectly imperfect for a purpose, which means at your highest capacity, at your highest potential, and in your healed, whole, and complete state, you are here to do tremendous things. That being happy is beautiful. Here's a shocker. The world sends us the message that melancholy is better than happy. That shining bright is dangerous. So notice what beliefs you might have that keep you from happiness or meeting your need. Where do we continue to adopt the voice of our abuser and perpetuate that voice all on our own? How we continue to do their job long after they are gone. And notice how that keeps you from being all that you could be. And I say this a lot, it's worth repeating because it's so critically important that we understand that our beliefs are the foundation from which everything in our life is created. As within, so without. So if there's anything you are lacking in your life, there is a belief, a limiting belief in particular, that keeps you from it. So the manifestation mechanism is essentially, it starts with your beliefs. From your beliefs come your thoughts. From your thoughts come the chemistry that floods your body, which creates the emotion, which is energy in motion, which is your frequency and vibration, which is your attraction point and how you create more, ideally, more creative, beautiful, sustainable strategies for assisting in heaven on earth. But likely, if you're unaware of this process, we've been creating more of the same, not realizing it. So really dig deep, ask why 5 times, and get to the bottom of what is the belief? Why do I continue to perpetuate this in my life? And how do I shift and change that belief? What is the new belief that I want to replace it? And of course, if you have any emotional neglect or verbal abuse, or especially physical abuse or sexual abuse in your past, know that ignoring your trauma is not sustainable. You will never be able to overpower through brute force. That you will always deal with that block or that limitation until you employ some form of somatic healing therapy. I am a brain spotting facilitator. There's other things like EMDR or other somatic healing therapies, but we must be able to work with the body. Talk therapy alone is not successful. That's why so many people have sort of poo-pooed it. We could talk about it all day long, but really that is trying to solve the problem from the level of consciousness at which it was created. It's the hamster wheel of the mind. So do make sure that you reach out and get some support with this. You do not need to suffer. It does not make you a better person. It does not make you stronger. There is zero need for learning through struggle anymore, that we can heal, become whole and complete. And in fact, God, source, divine, creator, universe wants that for you and needs that for you so that you can step into the purpose that you were created for and assist in healing the rest of the world, or rather holding space for others so that they can learn to heal themselves and step into their purpose. All right. I will keep it short and sweet today. I love you, my friends. Please do make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Spread the word. The world needs healing. Somatic therapy is the key, and your body is an instrument. So let's learn how to work with it. All right. I love you, my friends. Take care. Namaste.